The first book of the Riftwar Saga, Magician, follows the journeys of two young men from Kreide, Pug, and Tomas, as they are caught in the midst of an invasion by the Tsurani, a people from another world. Pug, an orphan taken in by the Duke of Kreide, shows a talent for magic. He is apprenticed to the magician Kolgan and discovers his abilities are far greater than anyone imagined. During a Tsurani raid, he is captured and taken to Kelewan, the Tsurani homeworld. There, he learns their language, culture, and magic, becoming a powerful magician in their tradition. Thomas, Pug's best friend, is a skilled apprentice to the castle's swordmaster. He is inadvertently bonded to a powerful artifact during the initial Tsurani attack, leading him on a path of his own. This bond imbues him with extraordinary abilities, but also threatens his humanity as he struggles with the artifact's influence. As the war progresses, the Kingdom of the Isles faces escalating attacks from the Tsurani. The narrative shifts between the two worlds, showcasing the political machinations of the Tsurani Empire and the kingdom's efforts to defend itself.
Pug danced along the edge of the rocks, his feet finding scant purchase as he made his way among the tide pools. His dark eyes darted about as he peered into each pool under the cliff face, seeking the spiny creatures driven into the shallows by the recently passed storm. His boyish muscles bunched under his light shirt as he shifted the sack of sand crawlers, rock claws, and crabs plucked from this water garden. The afternoon sun sent sparkles through the sea spray, swirling around him as the west wind blew his sun-streaked brown hair about. Pug set his sack down, checked to make sure it was securely tied, then squatted on a clear patch of sand. The sack was not quite full, but Pug relished the extra hour or so that he could relax. Mega the cook wouldn't trouble him about the time, as long as the sack was almost full. Resting with his back against a large rock, Pug was soon dozing in the sun's warmth. A cool, wet spray woke him hours later. He opened his eyes with a start, knowing he had stayed much too long. Westward, over the sea, dark thunderheads were forming above the black outline of the Six Sisters, the small islands on the horizon. The roiling, surging clouds, with rain trailing below like some sooty veil, heralded another of the sudden storms common to this part of the coast in early summer.
The first book in the series, Magician, is a fantasy novel by American writer Raymond E. Feist. It is the first book of the Riftwar Saga and of the wider Riftwar cycle. Magician was originally published in 1982. The book is set in a Dungeons & Dragons style fantasy world called Midkemia, originally invented by Feist and his friends during college. The story follows the early life of friends Pug and Thomas as their world is overtaken by war against alien invaders who appear via portals. It was republished in 1992 in a 10th anniversary edition entitled The Author's Preferred Edition, containing scenes that had been cut from the original. Feist wanted to reissue the low circulation original hardcover, and his publisher Lou Aronica said he would only do it with new material, so Feist restored some scenes he felt were important while expanding or rewriting other material. The Riftwar Saga book is a must-read for fantasy enthusiasts who enjoy intricate world building, compelling character development, and high-stakes conflicts. The narrative seamlessly blends classic fantasy elements like magic, swordplay, and mythical creatures with engaging storylines that explore themes of friendship, duty, and the clash of cultures. The author's intent to deepen the narrative's complexity and connect the initial novel to a larger saga, as highlighted in the foreword, provides a sense of grand scale and epic scope. The story captivates readers with its blend of action, intrigue, and heart, while leaving them eager to delve further into the expansive world of the Riftwar Saga. Now let's see what the Deep Dive guys have to say about the first book in this series. Buckle up.
Buckle up, folks. We're diving into Raymond E. Feist's Riftwar Saga. You've given us the first 3 books, so we're focusing on that initial arc to give you a taste without spoilers. Think magic, political intrigue, and a whole lot of world building. The kind that makes you want to pack your bags and visit, if it weren't for, the wars.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is the way Feist blends familiar fantasy tropes with unique elements. You got your young, unlikely heroes, but their journey isn't just about saving the world. It's also about self-discovery and cultural clashes on a massive scale.
Right, okay, so our main players are Pug and Tomas, orphans raised in Kreide, a peaceful duchy in the kingdom. Tomas is a natural warrior, while Pug but he trips over his own feet during the apprenticeship ceremony. But guess who steps up to take him on? Kelewan, the magician. That's where it gets really interesting.
This choosing ceremony is a crucial point. It not only diverts Pug onto an unexpected path, but also sets the stage for one of the saga's core themes. Destiny rarely follows our expectations.
Yeah, so we've got Pug, who's more comfortable tripping over his own feet than wielding magic, suddenly becoming Kelewan's apprentice. What happens next?
Well, Feist cleverly blends humor into those early days. Pug's struggles with magic provide a lighthearted contrast to the looming threat that will soon engulf the kingdom. But amidst the mishaps, we see the strong bond between Pug and Tomas deepening, a friendship that will be tested time and again throughout their adventures.
And then there's the princess. Saving Princess Caroline from trolls isn't exactly a bad way for a young apprentice to get noticed, right?
Indeed, it adds an intriguing layer of courtly intrigue to the story. However, the budding relationship between Pug and Caroline is quickly overshadowed by a much larger event, the opening of the rift.
Oh, and that's where things get really interesting. The arrival of the Sirani, an alien race from another world, is where Feist masterfully escalates the tension. The kingdom is thrust into chaos, faced with an enemy unlike anything they've ever encountered.
What's fascinating is that Feist doesn't present the Sirani as simple villains. They have their own intricate culture motivations and even internal conflicts. This clash of civilizations, fueled by fear and misunderstanding, becomes a driving force in the narrative.
So we've got an invasion underway and no one knows how to deal with it. What happens next?
Tomas, always the more intuitive one, has a premonition of the Sirani arrival. He, Pug, and the soldier Meacham embark on a dangerous reconnaissance mission to gather information. This mission throws them into the heart of the enemy camp, forcing them to confront the terrifying reality of the invasion.
Seeking into an enemy camp, trying to understand their language and customs, it's gotta be intense.
It's a trial by fire that reveals not just the Sirani's military might, but also their culture and social structure. This first-hand experience lays the foundation for the complex relationship that will eventually develop between the two worlds. But for now, survival is the priority.
And this mission ultimately leads to a pivotal decision, sending a delegation to the king for aid. Of course, Pug and Tomas are part of this perilous journey across treacherous mountain passes, right?
Exactly. This journey emphasizes the growing desperation of the kingdom. Facing an enemy as powerful as the Sirani, the Duke realizes he needs the king's support, and fast.
And just when you think things can't get any worse, Castle Cryde comes under siege. It's a brutal, relentless assault that highlights the Sirani's military prowess and leaves you on the edge of your seat, wondering about the fate of Cryde and its inhabitants.
Feist masterfully ends this first act with a gripping cliffhanger, leaving the reader desperate to know what happens next. And that's really where I think Feist's brilliance as a storyteller comes through. You know, it's not just about this clash of armies, but it's about those individual journeys of these characters, their struggles, their growth, and you see these overeating relationships in the face of this overwhelming adversity.
Yeah, we see Pug go from this kind of fumbling apprentice to, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but his connection to magic is anything but ordinary.
Yeah.
It's like he taps into something ancient and powerful, something beyond, the traditional understanding of magic in the kingdom.
Precisely, Feist introduces this really fascinating layer of complexity to magic by suggesting that it's not just about, spells and incantations.
Yeah.
There's this raw, primal force at play, and Pug's journey becomes intertwined with unraveling these mysteries of this power.
And it's not just Pug either.
Right?
Remember how Tomas had that premonition?
Right.
Turns out that was just a glimpse of his own unique abilities.
Yeah.
He's drawn to a different path, one connected to the land itself.
It's a testament to Feist's skill in creating such contrasting yet complementary characters.
Yeah.
Tomas's journey embraces this raw, instinctual power of the natural world, while Pug grapples with the more structured yet still mysterious forces of magic. It creates this beautiful parallel mirroring the larger conflict between the kingdom and the Sirani.
And Feist doesn't shy away from depicting the, brutal realities of war. I mean, the Siege of Cryde is just the beginning. We're thrown into the heart of these epic battles, magical duels, moments of incredible heroism.
What's striking is the way Feist balances those grand action-packed sequences with these really intimate moments of human connection.
Yeah.
Even amidst chaos, we see the bonds of friendship, loyalty, and even love enduring.
Right. Like, think about the developing relationship between Pug and Princess Caroline.
Exactly.
It's a slow burn unfolding amidst all this turmoil and uncertainty, and adds this whole other layer of emotional depth to the narrative.
Exactly. And then there's the humor sprinkled throughout even the darkest moments. Characters like Kelewan the Magician offer this dry wit that provides a much-needed respite from the tension.
It's like a reminder that, even in the face of these world-altering events, there's still room for humanity and humor.
Right.
It makes these characters in this world feel incredibly relatable.
And that relatability is key to the enduring appeal of the Riftwar Saga. Feist grounds these fantastical elements in human experiences, the fear of the unknown, the courage to fight for what you believe in, and the enduring power of friendship and love.
So we've got compelling characters, epic battles, a richly imagined world.
Right.
What else makes this series so captivating?
Feist's masterful world building. He doesn't just create a backdrop for his story, he constructs entire cultures with their own histories, beliefs, and societal structures.
Yeah.
The kingdom, the Serani Empire, the elven realm of Elvandar, each feels distinct and alive.
The elven realm is particularly enchanting.
Yeah.
The way Feist describes their connection to nature, their ancient magic, and their almost ethereal existence, it's mesmerizing.
Absolutely.
And then you have the dwarves with their, gruff practicality and unwavering loyalty.
It's a testament to Feist's imagination and his ability to breathe life into these diverse cultures. The world feels so vast and immersive, and yet it's those intimate moments between characters that truly resonate.
We've barely scratched the surface of this epic saga. But one thing is clear. Feist knows how to hook a reader. Every chapter leaves you wanting more eager to uncover the next twist, the next battle, the next revelation.
And that's the hallmark of a truly great fantasy series. The ability to transport you to another world, to make you care about the characters, and to keep you on the edge of your seat until the very last page.
It strikes me that Feist doesn't just kind of throw these characters into, these extraordinary circumstances. He lets them react in very human ways.
Right.
We see their fear, their doubts, but ultimately, their courage and resilience shine through.
Yeah, and what's fascinating too is that, Feist doesn't shy away from portraying the complexities of war either. It's not the simplistic good versus evil scenario.
Right.
There are moral dilemmas, compromises, and this ever-present weight of loss and sacrifice.
And these complexities extend to the characters themselves, right? Yeah, they're not perfect heroes.
Right.
They make mistakes. They struggle with their own, internal conflicts, and they have to grapple with the consequences of their choices.
It makes their victories feel earned and their losses all the more poignant. You really become invested in their journeys, not just because of the battles they fight, but because of the people they are.
So, what about the ending? I'm not asking for spoilers, but does Feist stick the landing? Does he leave you satisfied or wanting more?
Well, let's just say that Feist is a master at crafting endings that are both conclusive and open-ended.
Okay.
The immediate conflicts are resolved, but there's a sense that this is just the beginning of a much larger story. He leaves you with these tantalizing hints of what's to come, ensuring that you'll be eager to dive into the next book.
So for someone who's never read the Riftwar Saga, what would you say is the biggest reason to pick up that first book?
I think it's an immersive, epic fantasy adventure that has it all. Compelling characters, intricate world building, and a plot that just keeps you on the edge of your seat. Feist's writing style is very engaging and accessible. It draws you into this world and makes you really care about what happens to these characters.
Yeah, sold. If you're looking for a fantasy series that will transport you to another world, the Riftwar Saga is definitely worth checking out. And hey, if you want to deep dive into more classic fantasy and sci-fi books, subscribe to learn more about classic fantasy and sci-fi books. Till next time.